When it comes to noodles, there ain't nothing bland about my Dan Dan. Come on in. Dan Dan noodles. If you haven't had them before, well, you're definitely missing out. This is one of my most favorite recipes ever. Dan Dan noodles are so glossy, luscious, and velvety. You'll absolutely love it. So today I'm going to show you how we make it at home. The first step is we're gonna make our chili oil. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need some chili flakes, of course, and this is your regular chili flakes that you would have on top of your pizza or like with your biryani. So it's just your regular chili flakes that you can find at the grocery store. Then you're gonna need some cinnamon. You're gonna need 2-star anise or anise. Then you'll also need Szechuan pepper flakes or peppercorns, sorry. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna grind them up real finely like I did. So this is how it looks like. Okay, and you can find this in the international aisle of your grocery store or at your local Asian grocery store as well, okay? So first off, we're gonna do the chili oil, okay? And it's super simple. So what you're gonna need is some flavorless oil here, and I'm just gonna heat this up. I'm using about 1¼ cup of oil, okay? And just as soon as that's heated up, I'll show you what to do next. Sometimes when I'm just pressed for time, I use store-bought chili oil. So if you don't have time to do this part, then don't worry about it. Store-bought will be just as good. You're going to get your oil up to about 180 degrees. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, well, first of all, you're going to make sure that not many people are around. And then you're going to throw all your spices into a bowl. And then you're just going to pour all that oil in. Okay, and then you're just gonna let it sit there and fry, and it will be a beautiful luscious oil in a few minutes. While my chili oil is resting in the back, I'm gonna work on my meat topping. So right over here, I have about a pound of ground pork, but you can use whatever you like. So if you wanna use, you know, ground chicken, ground turkey, or ground pork, go ahead. Just some sort of ground meat, okay? So we have about 1 pound here. I'm gonna add pepper, sesame oil, about 2 tablespoons. Okay, then I have some Shaoxing wine here, 2 tablespoons again, and some soy sauce, about 3 tablespoons. And I'm using light soy sauce here, okay? Now I'm just gonna mix this up. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just gonna set this aside so it can really absorb all that flavor. And then I'm gonna work on the next part. So you're gonna also need some preserved mustard greens, okay? And typically you're gonna find this in the Asian grocery store in the like preserved food area. You can find them in like a really large package. There's one company that pretty much dominates the world of preserved pickled greens, and that one is, you know, it's in a really big package, but you can also find these little small packets too. And I think this is probably better if you're, you know, if you have a smaller household. So I kind of typically prefer these small ones, okay? So this is the one I'm using. And I'm gonna open this up, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop it up a little bit, even though it is already in pieces, but what I want to do is make sure that they're really finely minced. And you'll also need a little bit of garlic. Okay, so we'll also prep that. And because I have some extra shallots, I'm just gonna throw that right into my dish. If you don't have shallots, it's not a problem, but I definitely like my dan dan noodles to be extra oniony. All right, so let's start frying up our pork, okay? So right in this cast iron, you can use a pan if you like. I'm just gonna add in my aromatics. Mustard greens. Get that nice and hot. Okay. Then I'm going to add in my pork. Brown it up. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off my heat now and let that sit. And over here, I'm going to put in my noodles. Now, the noodles you want to use is a wheat noodle, okay? You can use an egg noodle, but the base of the noodle needs to be a wheat. Don't use a rice noodle because rice absorbs the oil. You actually want the oil to kind of be sitting on top of the noodles, and that gives it that luscious, velvety taste. So go with the wheat noodle, okay? So today, just my husband and I, so just a 2 portion, so. Okay, so we did our chili oil and we did our meat topping. So last but not least, we're gonna do another sauce, okay? So right over here, I have some sesame paste, or some people call it tahini. If you don't have that, peanut butter is totally fine, okay? You're gonna put maybe just a little bit of sesame oil, okay? Soy sauce. Okay, and you're gonna add about 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, get that mixed up real nicely. And normally I would boil a little bit of, you know, maybe bok choy or some sort of greens with it, just to make it a full meal, okay? But for now, we're just doing the dan dan noodles. You can use whatever you like, whatever vegetable you like, but usually I go with like a simple bok choy. Okay, and then we're also going to top it off with a little bit of green onions. Okay, and right here I have some crushed peanuts, roasted of course. The the last thing to do is to give it a good mix. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that chili oil and that sesame sauce. Okay, so let's give it a try. This looks so amazing. Okay, let's go for it. So good. So I definitely hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you like coming over for dinner, make sure to click that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. Bye.